Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. I want to improve my English. Do you want to improve your English? If you do, let's work together. Let's hope that you and I can work together to help each other in improving our English. That's what we are here for. You and I will work together. We'll learn new words. We'll learn correct pronunciation of some of the words. Here and there we'll learn some things that we need to know about the rules of grammars in English language. Whatever we can do. The idea is to have fun. This is not very rigid, regimented program. I just whatever comes to my mind, whatever words that come to my mind, we work on it. Okay. Here's the word that I just used. And I'm not even sure if it's spelled correctly. If it's not spelled correctly, you can find the correct spelling. I'm just putting it on the blackboard so that I remember, to cover it in the future, in the future videos. The word is regimented, which means very strict, in a very timetable, with a strict timetable, a very strict schedule. When you do something in a very strict, following a strict timetable or a very strict schedule or very strict set of rules, then that thing is said to be regimented. It's not like that. It's a very free-flowing things. We'll do things that come to our mind. So every day we'll learn few words. The words that I pick up here and there in the reading, the words that I come across, the words that I want to make sure that I know properly. And by doing this thing, it forces me, and of course it forces you to sit there and learn the words that you may have thought that you know, but not quite. Let's start. Enough of the talk. The very first I want to talk about today is digress. Let me break into a little pep talk here. There are three levels of vocabularies. That one has. First level of vocabulary is where when you ask somebody, what does this word mean? And they will tell you, well, I know this word, but I really can't explain it. It's too complicated, I can't explain it to you. But what they're trying to tell you in a very, here's a good word to learn. Euphemism. We'll learn this word later on in the future. Euphemism means to say something in a very nice way so that it's not offensive. In this case, to the person herself or himself. What they're trying to say in a very euphemistic way, in a very nice way, in a very polite way, is that they really don't know the word. That's why they're telling you, I can't really explain it to you. I know it, but I can't really explain it. Well, if you know it, there is no reason why you should not be able to explain it to somebody. So that's the first level of vocabulary, where they recognize the word, they have seen the word, but they have never quite bothered to actually learn it, the meaning of the word. So it's not an alien word. It's not a word that they have never seen. The word they have seen many times. It's just that they have never bothered to actually learn it. The second level of vocabulary is where you know the word, you recognize it, you know it, exactly what it means, and if somebody were to ask you what it means, you are able to explain it, you are able to articulate it, you are able to tell exactly what the word means. But you have not mastered that word well enough so that that word becomes part of your working vocabulary. That's the third level. When it becomes part of your working vocabulary, in other words, that word that you're talking about, whichever that word happens to be, for example, the word digress here, when it begins to crop up in your own writing, and when it begins to crop up and it begins to appear in your own speech, that is when you know that you have learned the word, that you have mastered the word properly. That is where you want to be. You don't want to simply learn the word here and there casually. You want to master it. And how do you know that you mastered the word? That's when it begins to become part of your working vocabulary. What does digress mean? Digress is a very straightforward, very simple word, which simply means to go off a topic. I have a tendency to digress all the time. When I'm talking about one thing, if something else crops up in my mind, for example, these two words came out of nowhere, I was making a digression. The noun is digression. It means to just go off a topic. If you're talking about something and you want to leave the topic for the time being, you want to leave it in abeyance. Here's a good word to learn. All of these words, don't worry about it. In the future, I will cover all of these words. The word that just crop up out of nowhere, we're going to How does the word abeyance just came about? I have no idea. It just means to put something aside. To put something, to postpone something for future. I don't know how I used it a second ago. I just said it, but I forget now where I was using it. Anyway, the word is digress. It means to go off a topic. A lot of the times when people want to go off a topic, they will say, allow me to go off a topic. They would not say, let's digress. Why won't you say digress? Because it's not part of their working vocabulary. Anyway, the word is digress. Do not confuse this word with these two words. Regress and progress. Regress and progress, they are antonyms of each other. They are antonyms. They are opposite of each other. Regress means to go back. To go back. And of course, progress, you know what it means. It means to go forward. But they are different words. Do not confuse these two words with the word digress. Let's learn one more word. As I said, there is no confluence. There is no coming together of the ideas. Just the words that come to my mind here and there, and I made a list of it. And every day I'll just cover a few words. And that way I will force myself to learn these words properly myself, and hopefully you will get something out of it too. Anyway, let's go on. And also in the process, as I'm speaking, there are new words that crop up, and we will learn those words as well. Those are all good words to know. They're all good words to know, not just for the sake of taking the GRE or GMAT or the SAT, but they're also good words to know just purely for the sake of knowing them. Just for the point of knowing them, if you want to improve your English language, if you want to come across you see, as soon as you open your mouth, as soon as you start speaking, particularly if you're a non-native speaker of English and you're trying to communicate to somebody in English language, as soon as you open your mouth, that person is going to begin to make judgment about you. They're going to they will begin to make judgment about your vocabulary, obviously. They will begin to judge you, judge your background, your education level, and also, rightly or wrongly, your intelligence. So it's important that when you open your mouth and when you start speaking, that you do not use vocabulary from the third grade. You're no longer in third grade. We are all grown people now. So we have to talk, we have to speak like a grown person. Don't say, let's go off a topic. Let's digress. Here's another word. The word is, I don't know why this word came out of nowhere. It just came in my readings one day, just a couple of days ago, so I thought I would learn it. And since I wanted to learn it, I figured you probably want to learn it too. The word is cogitate. What does it mean? Cogitate. Here's a pronunciation key for you. It means to think. It means to ponder. It means to contemplate. To contemplate means to think. To cogitate, to ponder. Let's learn one more word. The word is, that's it. Let's go to the next one. The word is make a habit of learning few words every day. It's up to you. What goal you set is up to you. It's you can set a goal of as few as one word a day, which is okay. Because even if you, doesn't matter what goal it is, as long as you follow through it, which is the important part, having the discipline to actually follow that regiment. You see, we just learned the word regimented. Even if it's just one word a day that you said to yourself, I'm going to learn, which is fine, because in 1 year's time you'll have nice 365, and if it happens to be lucky, leap year, you're even luckier, you get one more word. But set some goal, 5 words a day, 10 words a day, whatever it is that you want to learn, okay? I try to learn few words every day here and there. There are any word that crops up in my reading, in my writing. I want to pick up the dictionary and learn it. That's how you improve your language. To have the discipline to improve to pick up the dictionary and learn it. The word is conversant. Conversant. What does it mean to be conversant? It means to be conversant at something means to be good at something. To have working knowledge of something. This means something. To have working knowledge of something, either through formal studies, either through formal studies. In other words, you went to college for it, you went to school for it, or whatever it is that you're talking about to learn, or I'm trying to get a new marker here. Either through formal studies or through experience. Or through experience. So if you have a working knowledge of something because you had a formal training, you went to school for it, or you just learned it on the job, you have it through experience, and you're good at that job, whatever that job is, then that person is said to be conversant at it, whatever it is. Maybe a person may be a conversant carpenter, could be conversant. You could be said to be a conversant in algebra. If you're conversant in algebra, that means you're good in algebra. You know how to handle it. You can set up an equation very easily and solve for it and so forth. Maybe you're conversant in geometry. You're very good in geometry and so on and so forth. Do you understand? Let's learn one more word. The next word actually is tricky one, which has to do with pronunciation of the word, how you pronounce the word. English language is a very tricky language. It's tricky language. It's one of the more difficult languages in the world to master because sometimes the exact same word with the exact same spelling has two different meanings depending on how it is pronounced. A different pronunciation of the word connotes different meanings. Here's a good word to learn. We'll learn it later on. Don't worry about it right now. The word that I'm talking about is this word. Let's put down both. It has two different meanings, as I said, depending on how you pronounce it. Here's the first pronunciation. Consummate. What does it mean to consummate? Consummate means to complete something. To complete something or to conclude. Conclude something. To consummate a deal, to consummate a contract means to finally put your signature on the dotted line. When you sign a contract, you consummate it, you finish it, you conclude it. Not to be confused with this pronunciation. It has an it sound at the end, not mate. This is consummate. This has an it sound at the end. It's pronounced consummate. Consummate. To be consummate means to be exceptionally good at something. Good at something. consummate pianist, for example. If you are a consummate pianist, you are a very good pianist, you are a well-renowned pianist, you are a well-known pianist, you are an accomplished pianist. If you are accomplished, whatever it is that you are, it's said to be consummate pianist, consummate artist, consummate carpenter, for example. You're very good at it. People know you for your carpentry, for your masonry. So again, do not confuse the two pronunciation, consummate and consummate. Even if you do not remember, even if you do not manage to remember the two different pronunciation, just knowing the fact that these two pronunciation exist and they have two different meanings will help you in future. Because at least when you hear the word being used in a certain way, you know which meaning that is being used. At least you are cognizant of the fact that it has two different meanings depending on the pronunciation of the word. Here's a good word to learn. We'll learn this word in the future as well, cognizant. Alright, let's keep on going. I want to do one more word. These markers I'm not too happy about. No matter which black marker I pick up, the bloody thing does not want to cooperate. And I'm running out of black markers. And I have tons and tons of green ones, so we'll see. Let's learn one more word, shall we? We'll keep on going. We'll keep on going until the cows come home. Don't ask me what that means. It's just an expression. Americans say cows come home, which means until cows never come home by themselves, so we go on forever. The word I want to learn is Dexterous. It's an adjective. It's an adjective. What does it mean to be dexterous? It just means to be good with one's hands, or to be skillful at something. To be skillful at something. To be dexterous means to be skillful, to be good at something, to be good with one's hand. Most people, while we are at the word dexterous, let's learn one more word. Most people are either right-handed, they're very good at doing things with their right hand, or they are good with their left hand. They can do things with they can do things with their left hand that they cannot do with their right hand because they are left-handed. Most people are right-handed. Once in a while you come across somebody who is equally good with both hands. They can use their right hand just as well as they can do their left hand, and vice versa. There is a word for it in English language, and the word that we have in English language is ambidextrous. Ambi means both. I'm going to erase this part here. To be good with, or to be more precise, to be equally good with, to be equally good with both hands. That's what ambi means. Ambi, the prefix ambi means both. And the word would be ambidextrous as opposed to dexterous. Dexterous simply means to be skillful, to be good with your hands. If somebody is ambidextrous, they are equally good with both their hands. Here's another word that has the same prefix ambi, which means both. Ambivalent. To be ambivalent, which literally means both feelings. Ambi, both feelings. ambivalent. What does it mean to have both feelings? Well, if you cannot make up your mind about something, well, you like it, you don't like it, you dislike it, you hate it, you love it, you're ambivalent. Okay? It means to have both positive and negative feelings about something. To have both positive and negative feelings about something. Again, S period, T period, that stands for something. POS period is positive and negative, NEG, negative. So what does ambivalent mean? It means to have both positive and negative feelings at the same time about something. You can't make up your mind about it. You're ambivalent. You can't decide. Do you understand? And that's the same prefix that you see there as it appears here. So first we learned the word dexterous, which wasn't actually the word that I wanted to learn. The word that I actually wanted to learn was ambidextrous, and it comes from dexterous, which is why we had to learn the word dexterous first. And once we learned ambidextrous, I figured, well, might as well learn this word here. It's a good word. There are many words in the English language that have a prefix of ambi, which means both. That was the end of day 3. Keshwani Prep Day 3 is the tag that you want to use if you're looking for any particular day. These are videos I'm taping, and we'll just learn a few words every day and just have fun. And if you keep up with it, in a matter of a few months, you will expand your vocabulary more than hopefully you would have done just by yourself. It's good to have somebody to work with, and it also gives me the discipline to sit there and work on these words myself, because these are words that I wanted to learn myself properly for a very long time, and this way they are all put in a piece of paper and they are organized, and it forces you to, sometimes you learn more, sometimes you think that you know something but you don't quite until you actually sit down and write it down and actually learn it formally. So that's what the idea is here. Okay, listen, if there is anything at all that I can do to help you in your preparation for the exams that you might be preparing for, I do tutoring. I provide tutoring services for GRE, prep4gre.com, for GMAT.com, prep4SAT.com, or prep4TOEFL.com. That's what the idea is. If you're preparing for GRE, GMAT, or SAT, or TOEFL, go to my website at keshwaniprep.com and send me an email, or as all the other URL I just told you. And of course, I want to improve my English.com. Send me an email and tell me what it is that I can help you with, and hopefully we'll work together and get ready for whatever it is that we want to work, or that you need to work on. Okay? Thanks.